Today, on Be Something Wonderful, 3 minutes to transform your life forever. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. 3 minutes, 3 steps, 3 simple yet incredibly powerful ideas to transform your life. I have talked about this method or this technique in other videos. I have called it the AIM method, A-I-M, the AIM method. Or in other words, if you rearrange AIM, the I-am method or the I-am technique. And what is it really? Well, you create, you manifest what you aim at. You create and you manifest what you focus on. You create and manifest what you are aware of, who and what you're aware of, as yourself, as that beingness, as the one and only reality. So one assumption, one imaginal scene, and then one magnificent reality. We're going to talk about this method today and more. Remember, let's set the groundwork. You're not creating reality. Creation is finished. Neville Goddard and all the spiritual greats talk about this idea. All that is existence is. God is. That love or that one reality, that one substance, that one consciousness, that one awareness is. I am that I am. I am who I am. It is I. That's what God said to Moses. I am existence. I am all that is. I am equals reality, equals I, all that is. They are the same. So what is manifesting then? What is all this talk about manifesting things in your life? Manifesting is simply the process of rearranging all that is and all that you are to experience yourself, I am, from a new perspective or vantage point or viewpoint. You, the perceiver, you, the perceiving, you, the perception, you, the observer, you, the observing, you, the observation. You're all of it, one. That's powerful. I want to show this today like we never have before. There it is. So what is manifesting? It's rearranging those frozen frames of light, those frozen frames of potential realities, potential identities of who you are. Do you see it? One superimposed over another is all you. And you have a certain perspective or viewpoint as all that isness, as all that you are. So manifesting is simply shifting that perspective or viewpoint of all that you are. That's the whole teachings of self-concept and everything else. You're not here to fix anything, any one viewpoint or vantage point or concept of who you are. You're here to choose as all that is from the center. And you create this physical manifested experience that's always changing based on those choices of who you are. In other words, what you're aware of, what you focus on, or what you aim at. The AIM manifesting method that we're going to unpack today. That's all happening in the now moment. You create who you were, I am, and who you will be, I am, in this now moment, in this identity that you're defining yourself. It's all now. The past and future are just ideas of who you are now. You create who you were and who you will be by defining yourself now. We've talked about these in many different ways. So let's get to this. Manifesting then is simply that process or technique of rearranging those frozen frames of light or frozen frames of reality or potential of all that you are, so that you see yourself or experience yourself as reality from a new perspective or vantage point or viewpoint. But you're all of it. You're the perceiver, you're the perceiving, and you're the perception. It's one. So when you aim at or focus on or are aware of, hear this, of already being that or who you desire to be, you override linear reality and rearrange time and space to reflect who you choose to be now. Do you see this? You override this idea of that linear experience. Right here, right? As you choose, you rearrange those frames according to who you are right now. That's powerful. So when you aim at, when you focus on, when you are aware of already being that which you desire to be, you override linear reality. You rearrange time and space to reflect who you choose to be now. So you're not focusing on the desire to be it. You're not aiming at the desire to be it. You're not being aware of the desire to be it. And it's not about focusing on how to be it. That's linear. That keeps you trapped in the frame. I want to show this. That's a linear perspective when you focus on the desire to be it. The desire to be it comes from inside that manifested frame, inside that frame that feels immovable. And when you focus on how to be it, you're still inside that frame. That power works through you as you. You just need to just choose who you are, and then you create that idea of that past and future of who you are now. Wow. But rather, what is it? It's about putting your focus on, or aiming at, or being aware of the imagined end of already being it. That's what it's all about, because remember, all those frames are imagined. Even the frame that you're currently in now, it's imagined by who and what you're deciding to be right now. So remember, AIM is the I am method. We're going to talk about what these stand for and how to, in this 3-step simple method. And it only takes you 3 minutes. 3 minutes to do this technique or process. Why? Because you are the process. Because you are the technique. That's how simple it is. Remember, when you manifest, you perform a miracle. You override. That's what manifesting means, right? Seeing yourself, hear this, from a different vantage point or perspective or viewpoint. You're performing a miracle. You're manifesting a different version of you in reality. That's powerful. When you manifest, you perform a miracle. You override linear considerations, right? You collapse time and space. You arrange or rearrange the images and frames, those frozen frames of light, of reality, to reflect who you're being now. They're frozen frames of potential, right? They're frozen, meaning your awareness is not on them as being that yet. But they're all there in potential. You collapse time and space. You override any linear ideas or considerations. You rearrange those images and frames, those frozen frames, right, to reflect who you're being now. Right? There it is. There are those frozen flames. Frozen frames. But remember, you don't go anywhere. It's always here and now. And you create this idea of movement in time and change, right? By creating this idea that there's space between these frames. But it's all you, one superimposed over the other. You're all of those identities all the time, just changing perspectives. It's one moment in time. It's one thought of love, right? It's one divine mind, and you're creating your experience of it. So I want to hit this again so we understand what manifesting is. When you manifest, you perform an absolute miracle, and you're doing it in every moment, shifting reality, shifting identities. You override all linear considerations. You collapse time and space, and you rearrange or arrange the images and frames of those frozen frames of light, of potential, of reality, to reflect who you're being right now. That's powerful. A Course in Miracles says this. If you haven't read A Course in Miracles, it's great. It's very powerful, but you guys know that I teach from A Course in Miracles now and then, right? I love it. I've been through the teachings and the course and the workbook at least a dozen times, right? When you perform a miracle, I will rearrange both time and space to adjust to it. When you perform a miracle, in other words, what's the miracle? When you imagine yourself as you would like to be. When you imagine yourself, your life as you would like it to be, you perform a miracle. I am awareness, your higher self, the real you, rearranges time and space. That remember that the idea of A Course in Miracles is that it's a channeled text, channeled from that Christ mind, or that I am awareness of being from your higher self, the idea of your higher self, right? Jesus Christ representing your higher self. So that's your higher self saying, I will perform a miracle. I will rearrange, or I will arrange both time and space to adjust to it. That's the AIM method, or the I am method. I am that I am. I am who I imagine myself to be right now, who I've always desired myself to be. We're going to step you through it, but it's a 3-minute technique. 3 minutes to transform your life forever. Right? So miracles, this is what A Course in Miracles continues to say. Miracles rearrange perception and place all levels in true perspective. Wow. Do you see this? Because it's your perception or perspective of yourself that creates your entire life experience. So miracles rearrange that perception so you see the truth of who you are, the true perspective of that highest ideal, right? The truth of I am, or the truth of all that is and all that you are. And A Course in Miracles continues and says this, right? You are a miracle. This is what A Course in Miracles says. Capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. And who is your Creator? It's you. One with the Creator. I and the Father are one. Yes, the Father is greater than I. The Father, that potential to be or do anything or have anything is greater than anything that I could consciously focus on and be aware of in any one moment. That power within me is greater than anything that I could be aware of in any one moment, but I'm one with it. It's all of me, and I am all of it. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. I want this to really resound with you today. The great I am is that love or that light. That's heaven. One of you asked, what's the meaning of hell? The metaphysical meaning. Hell is I am not. I am not that person I desire to be. I am not creating the life that I want. That's hell. Heaven is I am. I am that person I desire to be. I am living the life that I desire. That's heaven. That's heaven on earth, right? That's the love and light of that you are. I am not. That's hell, right? Everything else. This is what A Course in Miracles, they continue, right? So they say that you're a miracle right here. You are a miracle capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator, the great I am. And they continue here and say, everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. In other words, that's what hell is. It's not real. It doesn't exist because non-existence doesn't exist. There's only I am. But we can create that idea that I'm not that person I desire to be yet, that things are not working out. Right? I am all that is, and all that I desire and imagine to be is the one and only reality. That's I am. Everything else is what? Your own nightmare, or the hell that we create for ourselves. I am the AIM method, or the I am manifesting method. Let's get into it. Many of you have heard me talk about it before. I put a little twist in it today, right? Just from a different perspective. The A is assume, the assumption. The assumption of what? Because remember, the assumptions don't need proof or evidence. The assumption is the proof or evidence. The assumption that you are the creator and source of your reality. That's the A. Neville got it in the law of assumption. There's no secondary cause or source. You're buying the pearl a great price with this first step or idea. Assume that you are the creator, that you are the one and only source of your reality. That's where you start. I am that I am, and there is no other. There's no other source. There's no other cause. There's no other reality. As Jesus said when they were looking for him and asking, when Jesus says, whom are you seeking, or whom do you seek? And they said, Jesus of Nazareth, or Jesus the Nazarene. And he answers, I am he. I am he. You have found him. Assume that, right? That's John 18:8. Powerful. What's the I in AIM or in I am? Imagine. I imagine. The I is all imagination. I Imagine being that or who you desire and dream and want to be. But don't make it complicated. A 3-second imaginal scene that implies you as that I am. It could be you simply standing on a podium looking out, right? That you're doing a big speech, something you've always dreamed of, and there's applause. It could be a friend hugging you and congratulating you. Any simple scene, it's just a snapshot of reality, of all that you are. Go to that end frame, that snapshot, because that snapshot implies everything. Remember, the whole 3D physical experience forms around that frame, forms around that snapshot, forms around that imaginal scene. And if you go, well, I can't really see it, just assume it. The image is there. Just to create that idea that you're being congratulated, or that someone is saying, someone's just smiling at you and you're looking out and smiling. It could be you on a mountaintop, looking out at a horizon and declaring, I made it. I did it. I am that I am. Do you see? Put yourself in that imaginal you. And that's all. A simple scene, it doesn't matter. You're going to say, well, should I do this or that? None of it. That gets you all tangled up in the manifested frame, in a linear perspective. It's not linear, right? The power and potency is in its implication that Neville Goddard talks about. It's within you as the creator. That's why A is assume that you're the creator. Assume that you are it. Because the power and potency of the imaginal scene is in you. It is you. I am he, as Jesus answered those looking for him. Who do you seek? I'm he. I'm it. I am. It was said, some say that he was added later to Scripture, right? The idea that it's just I am. But whatever it is, I am he is cool too. It's you as your highest ideal. It's you in your true nature. Imagine that. The highest imaginal perspective of who you are. Whatever that is at the moment. A simple scene. If it's love, it could just be you looking at, you looking out and saying, wow, I am loved. Or looking at this person that you want to be with. It doesn't matter. It's you. It's all about you being that highest ideal. Right? It could be you staring at your bank balance and looking at, zero after zero after zero, right? Millions of dollars. It could be any of that. Or it could be you just traveling, right? You're sitting on in first class, right? And you're looking out at looking out the airplane from first class. It could be any of that. A simple scene. It doesn't matter. I am that I've always or ever desired and dreamed to be, and more. Because you are more. Do you see it? I am that who I've always dreamed and desired to be, and so much more, because you are more. You are source. You are the creator. In John 14:12, he who believes in me, in other words, he who is aware of themselves as the creator, as I am awareness, that's what the ancients are saying here. Right? It's not trying to believe it. It's just he who is aware that they exist and will always exist as I am awareness. The works that I do, he will do also, and the greater works than these he will do, because I go to the Father. In other words, because I'm the creator. I'm source. I am everything I've imagined and more. That's what the ancients were saying. That you can imagine anything and you're more than that. Those greater works you're going to do because you're more than that. Because you are one with the Father. You are one with Source. That's powerful. So, remember, make it your only reality. That's the M. A, assume. Assume you're the creator. Assume that you're the one and only source. I, imagine it. Imagine a simple 3-second scene. Imagining that frame of reality. Imagining that rearranging reality around that imagined frame of who you are. And then make it your only reality, no matter what. Why? Because it makes all other circumstances and conditions irrelevant. That assumption that you're the creator, that imaginal scene of you as your highest ideal, the highest possible assumption of who you are, makes it your only reality. It makes everything else irrelevant. It makes all doubt and fear irrelevant. It makes all other frames and images and possibilities irrelevant. Remember when they were looking for Jesus, whom do you seek? And they answered, Jesus of Nazareth. And he says, I am he. And remember that the first time he answered, they fell to the ground. They drew back and fell to the ground. In other words, when you imagine this, when you assume your source, when you imagine that outcome, that one simple 3-second scene, and you make it your only reality, well, in the 3 seconds that you do that, right, in the 3 minutes that you do that with that 3-second scene, well, all other realities fall to the ground. They dissolve. You're no longer that old identity. You're no longer those other those conditions that you thought you were, or circumstances. You're not any of it. It collapses. In other words, the idea of those that are questioning him falling to the ground and drawing back means you're collapsing time and space. You are he. I am that new identity and reality in the assumption and the imagining of it, and I'm making it my own reality. Even as fears or doubts or contrary appearances pop up, that's the significance of Jesus asking them again, your I am awareness, whom do you seek? Remember, he asked them twice. First time they fall to the ground. First time you're in that new reality. You're living it. As soon as you spend 3 minutes, the AIM method, you're in that new reality. Now it's about making that new reality your only reality, making that new identity your only identity, even as contrary conditions or thoughts seem to appear within your awareness. That's the significance of Jesus asking again, whom are you seeking? Whom do you seek? Whom do you seek? And they say it again, Jesus of Nazareth. And then what does Jesus say? I told you that I am, or that I am he. Therefore, if you seek me, let these others go their way. Let the fears and the doubts and the contrary appearances go. You're in that new reality. I am that which I desire to be. 3 minutes. Take 3 minutes for the AIM method. Right? Assume that you're the creator and maker and one and only source of your reality. Imagine a simple scene of being congratulated or hugged or looking out from a mountaintop or looking out from a plane. Doesn't matter. Or looking at the one you love or the one you love looking at you, whatever that is. Maybe you're holding their hand. Maybe you're, as Neville Goddard suggests, you're feeling that wedding ring on your finger. It doesn't matter. Right? And then make it your only reality. All those conditions, that old reality falls to the ground. It falls apart. It's no longer relevant. Right? It's no longer who you are. And then when thoughts and fears and contrary conditions come up, I told you that I am he. Therefore, if you seek me, let these go. Let them go their way. You don't have to, it's not your preference anymore. It's not who you are. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3-second imaginal scene, 3-minute process or technique or method, and you are it. To transform your life forever. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Be sure to join us this morning also on the other YouTube channel, The Tom Kearin. There's going to be a big video this morning on that where I'm answering a question that someone's asking about the idea that Abraham Hicks talks about, that you want everything that you want simply because you believe you'll feel better in the having of it. And that makes thoughts and feelings, changing thoughts and feelings relevant. I'm going to answer that question like I never have before. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.